When I was younger, my main objective in life was to not be cringe. And I think this is because I grew up with the internet. Something the internet loves is when someone stays in a box. I'll call it the in between or the average. You can be either cringe or you can be a hater or you can be in the box in the middle. The most of us grew up in this box in the middle. So we have this debilitating fear of cringe built into us, and it ends up stopping us from doing the things we're meant to do. So what ends up happening instead is everyone ends up talking the same, wearing the same shit, getting angry about the same things. You lose your swag. This scrolling shit is not free. It comes at a cost. Because in order to create anything special, anything unique, by definition, you have to be cringe. Like you have to do something that hasn't been done yet or that society as of right now doesn't think is cool. But I got older and I realized what society thinks is cool is bullshit. Like it's constantly changing. Look at jeans and pants right now. Everyone is rocking baggy pants. In 2018, this would have been cringe. Now, the same pants we were rocking a few years ago, you cannot be rocking those now. It's cringe. These huge societal trends, it starts with one person being like, I don't want to wear skinny jeans anymore. Fast forward a few years, what was just cringe is now in style. I bet they called the Mona Lisa cringe. Leonardo, you're bugging with this one. You're doing too much with this one, bro. Empire State Building, I guarantee you they were like, the shit is cringe. It's too tall. I'm not about to compare my shitty little YouTube channel to the Mona Lisa, but it is funny when I look back now because this channel is probably the quote cringiest thing I've ever done. Like the amount of people I know that were talking shit behind my back, like, yo, what is he doing? This is so embarrassing. But now, because of you guys, I have over 100,000 subscribers. So now, to those exact people, now it's no longer cringe. Now it's, oh, this is really cool, Paul. Like, how does the business side of this work? It's like, oh, so now it's cool. And yeah, actually, to be honest, I think this is probably the coolest thing I've ever created. But my point is, there is a few versions of me out there that never did this just because I was afraid of what other people would think about it. And I'm grateful I realized this shit in time while I'm still relatively young because people go their whole entire life without realizing this. There's a great quote. It was a philosopher, I think. I'll try to find who it was, but they were like, at the end of your life is when you realize nobody was watching you. They were all too busy worrying about themselves. This has always been a thing, this fear of public opinion, but it's never been louder. It's never been more deceiving than it is right now. And that's because of the internet. The internet really makes you feel like someone is looking over your shoulder 24/7. Whole time, nobody's there. Nobody is judging you, bro. Do what you want to do. And I shouldn't actually say nobody's judging you because there are real life haters out there. But the best part of this is that if someone is hating on you, it says so much more about them than it could say about you. Like the other day, for example, I'm walking around in Brooklyn. I'm with my sister. She wanted to buy a chessboard for her new apartment. So we go into this like board game shop and instantly I'm like, holy shit. Because there was like 30 hardcore gamers in there ripping one of those card game tournaments like Magic the Gathering, I think it was. And the old me, the me that really hated myself, would have been like, wow, look at these geeks. It's 70 degrees in here and they're in here ripping board games. Now, when I see these guys, I see swag because they're saying, fuck what the world thinks is cool. I'm going to do me and I'm going to rip some Magic the Gathering with the gang. That is the drip. And anyone hating on that is just tight that they have not found theirs yet. They're not following, they don't know what their drip is. You look at the internet right now and it's like 95% hate. Why do you think that is? If you take the time out of your day to leave a truly nasty hate comment on a video, that says way more about you than it does about whoever you're commenting on. I promise you that. Back to what I was saying, if you let this fear of getting judged control you and how you move through life, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe no one ends up thinking you're cringe. Congrats. You can die saying that no one thought anything you did was cringe, but you're going to get forgotten just like everyone else is going to get forgotten. It's like you might as well have some fun while you're here. And by the way, I don't want to sit here and act high and mighty like I'm just like a saint now because that's not true. This is something I have to constantly remind myself, and I still learn every single day about myself through my reactions to other people's shit. Like I literally just got back from the gym and this dude was like swinging around the pull-up bar. I'm on the treadmill just walking. This dude's swinging around the pull-up bar like Tarzan. He's hanging upside down. He's doing like these freaky twirls and shit. Like the whole gym was looking at this guy. And, without even thinking about it, I turned to the guy next to me on the treadmill. I was just like,
Well, we got fucking Spider-Man over here.
he laughed at it. I was laughing at it. But I could just be overthinking it now. But walking home, I'm like, damn, that little joke that I made actually said more about me than Tarzan. My reaction, like there has to be a part of me that wishes I didn't care enough about other people's opinions to where I could do that crazy shit like that at the gym. Next time you cringe or, you make fun of something you think is weird, ask yourself why. Like, why am I cringing right now? And I guarantee you there's something that you can learn about yourself from that, not the person that you're laughing at. The irony is the people who don't care about what society thinks is normal or thinks is cool end up being the coolest. Like the coolest motherfuckers in any field, dude. Movies, Stanley Kubrick. You think about music, like I think Lil Uzi Vert is one of the coolest dudes alive right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan. He says and does things that I do not rock with, but that's a dude who does not care what you think. And that's what makes his music so good and his swag so crazy. It's super easy to fall into this trap of the internet, of social media, where your definition of what's cool and what's acceptable starts to come from the algorithm, not from you. If you're in this trap, you can't have swag. You can't have your own swag. This is someone else's drip. When we were kids, certain video games were cool to play. You could play Madden, the yearly Call of Duties, the 2Ks. And if you played these other games, it was like you were a nerd. And the funny thing was, looking back, it's like those were the worst fucking games. Those were the most low effort games. Thankfully, as a kid, at some point, I just stopped giving a fuck because I wanted to play the good games. But it's a good example. The best things in life, the things that you are going to end up enjoying the most, are not going to be what society thinks is cool. So, in order to self actualize, which, by the way, is the ultimate form of swag, like linking the conscious to the subconscious, you need to be completely unconcerned with the opinions of other people. And it's not just the bad opinions, but the good ones too. It's easy to say, oh, fuck the haters, bro. Like, you're just a hater. The hard part is not concerning yourself with the good opinions of other people. That's swag. Another huge reason the internet and social media specifically makes it so hard to actually have swag. It's not the universal and the regular that characterizes the individual, but the unique. Carl Jung, big bro, said that. I mean, bro, you get a like on Instagram, like let's say a pretty girl likes a picture or something, that activates all kinds of shit in your brain, right? That's the good opinions of others that you definitely are concerned with. But, the second you start going, damn, this post didn't get enough likes, swag preventer, drip faucet turned off. For me, when I was an Instagram dork, when I would post to Instagram, if I didn't get 100 likes on that post, I'd be like, damn, like I botched. This flopped. How crazy is that? Like, imagine 10 people coming up to you in real life. Imagine one person coming up to you in real life being like, hey, I like this. I like what you're doing today. You look good today. How would that feel? But with social media, with Instagram, it's this constant comparing yourself to other people, dude. Zero swag in that. It's like, oh, this kid got 200 likes. I only got 70. This is the mindset that kills drip. It's the complete opposite of not being concerned with the opinions of others. And thankfully, I stopped caring about that a while ago with Instagram. But then without realizing it, I started falling into the same mindset with YouTube. Because YouTube will tell you, like, yo, that last video you posted was ass, bro. It was the worst performing video out of your last 10 videos. And I'll be like, shit, like I loved making that video. And here I am tweaking about the results. So this is why people start making videos they don't even enjoy making. And now you're off the path. This is why you see these YouTubers and they're miserable and they don't like their own audience because they started making videos not for themselves or not because they like the videos, but because those are the videos that the algorithm rewards. And I want to talk about taste too. Taste is not something that you're born with. You acquire taste. The problem is with the internet and the scrolling and the short form content, it's like we're all acquiring our taste from the same shitty little pond. And let me explain what I mean by this, because I've fallen into this myself. Like literally, probably 2 years ago, there was these cool sweatpants that came up on my TikTok. I bought a few pairs. They were like super cheap and they're honestly pretty nice. I still have them. The problem is, it's like I pulled up to the gym wearing them, and there's a bunch of other chuds wearing the same exact pants. And it's not that they're wearing my pants that made it whack. It's like we all are just a fish on a hook targeted by the algorithm. And the algorithm was right because we all bought that shit. These pants are not my swag because they were brought to me by an algorithm. I was targeted. We live in this time where we have access to the greatest works of art ever created, like a 2,000 year backlog of the greatest human creations ever, books, paintings, movies, whatever. With such a wide pool of stuff, you'd think that we'd all have insanely different opinions, different styles, different ideas. Like I would be on my Greek philosopher type beat while you're on your Russian literature flow, your Dostoevsky flow, right? We just be on different waves. But instead, because of the internet and what society focuses on and rewards, it's like, oh no, that's not happening. We just all know who clavicular is instead. Like, does this ever happen to you guys where it's like, I hate that I know who this person is? Seriously, what the internet does to taste, it's like everyone's drawing from the same shitty little puddle of influence, despite the fact that there's an entire ocean that we could be drawing from. It's why you go out on the street, you see a huge group of girls and they're all wearing the exact same outfit. It's why we have these dudes rocking mullets and mustaches, and no hate to the mullet or mustache community, but bro, it's like unless you're from the deep south, that mullet, that's not your drip, bro. Like an algorithm brought you that. You know that's not your drip. And an algorithm, it doesn't produce or encourage individual style or swag. It's group think. And it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, this idea of average, the society accepted average taste. The best example of this is ChatGPT. Let's say you ask ChatGPT for a fit. Diabolical, by the way. If you do this, you should be arrested. But what it's going to do, it's going to take the worst fit, dookiest fit ever, and then the hardest, like most individualized fits, and it's going to find the average. It's going to spit out the average. The internet loves average, and it'll probably be a decent looking fit. I guarantee you, it gives you some baggy jeans, and it'll look good. You'll fit right in, bro. But you'll be walking around in your little grok fit. Like that's not your swag. Someone with swag, to me, is super aware of what they like, what they don't like, and why. The problem is if you use social media all day, what you like becomes what the internet likes. This is just how the brain works. It's social proof. And, example of this is like movie reviews. If you go to a movie, but before you go, you look up the reviews, it's now going to be impossible to watch that movie from an objective lens. Like if you've watched the movie without the reviews, your opinion would be completely different. And it's the same with books, it's the same with restaurants. Like this is just psychology. It's why people will stand in a line for an hour to eat at a restaurant. It makes no sense, but it's how humans are. And that's the obvious shit that we see, but this is happening in a less obvious way every single time you open up your phone. If you aren't aware of this, like the opinions that you form, your takes, they stop coming from independent thought. It's coming from groupthink, literally. Like the bigger the crowd, the more negligible the individual. Carl Jung said that, big bro. We are all, I truly believe, put on this earth. The one main mission is to find out who you are. And if you use social media and constantly consume content all day, that question starts to get answered, but in the wrong way. It's like you end up on someone else's path instead of finding your own. You board the wrong flight. And this is why it's scary. Like, I swear, I'm still working on this myself. I didn't start to understand the things that I, as an individual, actually liked and disliked until I started asking why. Because it's like if you go up to, let's say you go up to a full on bot at the moment, like I'm talking drooling as they scroll through kick live stream clips all day. They just can't get enough of clips, clavicular, Tate, like who else is there? neon. They just love watching clips all day. They think it's the best thing ever. If you go up to this person and ask them, why do you like doing this so much? Simple question. Why do you like watching this all day? They won't be able to answer it because they don't know. Then if you find someone with drip, with swag, like a real person who knows who they are, you ask them why they do the things they do, they'll give you a bunch of answers. Doesn't matter if it's playing piano or ripping Magic the Gathering or swinging around on the pull-up bar like fucking Tarzan. They will be able to give you answers right away. And one of those answers I would assume would be it gives them bliss. They're following their bliss. That's really what this boils down to. I'm convinced that overuse of the internet, of social media, like I'm not going to sit here and say don't use the internet in big 2026. Like a literal YouTuber is going to tell you that. But overdoing it, it makes finding yourself and who you are and what makes you happy so much harder, dude. It's why so many people are lost. It's why I was lost for my entire life. I'm still coming out of the woods trying to figure shit out. By design, an algorithm is created to group you with other people. And we can't pretend like it doesn't work. Like it undeniably it brings like-minded people together. There's no denying. It's why it's so addicting. In a way, it's almost like a separate form of consciousness. I don't want to get too off track, but something I noticed is like if I pull up my YouTube channel on someone else's phone, if they've never watched my channel, never clicked on a Pauly Walnuts video before, just based off the first video that YouTube recommends them, I instantly know something about them. And it's happened before. It's like, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, this is my channel. And it'll be like the first video that recommends them. It's like, why I stopped watching porn. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you're a gooner, aren't you, bro? You're a gooner. No, but actually, because I've made such a wide variety of things I've talked about on this channel, I can learn something deep about someone just by which video the algorithm recommends them first. All this to say, there's a deep accuracy to what these algorithms know and what they show you. Like, I'm not going to pretend like it's all bullshit. That would be stupid. But it doesn't account for the fact that we are all individuals. It doesn't matter how niche and shared your interests are with someone. You're a different person. You and me, we could have the same exact algorithm. We could scroll and have the same exact feed. You probably have a friend who has the same algorithm as you. And you guys know this because you're constantly sending each other shit that you've already seen on your own feed. And if you've ever had this, I guarantee you that's one of your closest friends. Like that means something that you guys have the same algorithm. But at the end of the day, you are different than bro. And the more that you guys scroll, the more you will slowly morph into the same person, even though you're totally different people. And you start to lose what makes you an individual, not part of a group. Knowing who you truly are and what you like comes from real experience, not from scrolling. It comes from trying shit. And knowing who you are, it's not as easy as it sounds. Like, let's be real, I'm still working through this myself. You know, I don't want to claim like this video is, I'm not saying I have swag. I'm saying the internet is actively draining us from it. There's millions of people. It's not that they just don't know who they are. They don't even know what they like. They don't know why they like what they like. They aren't even trying to figure it out. And again, I'm not saying cut the internet cord. That's ridiculous. I just think this simple mindset switch of being like, all right, it's time to find what makes me happy and what makes me sad. And I'm going to find this without using the internet, without letting the internet tell me what to be happy about. I think if you start there, at least for me, I swear shit starts finding you, bro. Like that book you were meant to read will find you. That movie that you needed to watch, randomly someone will recommend it to you. The people you need to meet, you'll find them at the right time. Like I believe these things find you in life, the best things. And the more time you spend on the internet trying to find shit on your own, I mean, if you think about it, that's really all we're doing on the internet. We're just looking for answers, constantly looking for something. It doesn't matter if you're trying to find a job on LinkedIn or if you're ripping a goon. The bottom line is you're looking for answers. And I'm convinced that the more time we spend trying to find shit on the internet, find answers, the less likely we are to find them. You can still choose to become yourself in this world that wants you to be a follower so bad. Just keep trying shit. Huge shout out to everyone who's joined the Patreon already. We're building something sick over there. Just started our first book for the book club. So if that sounds interesting to you, check it out. Either way, I love you guys so much and thank you for watching. Peace.